Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. This is a part of the show where we take a look at the national and local headlines. We run with the national first. Big fight in the UFC taking place at the 135-pound weight class between TJ Dillashaw and Dominic Cruz. Again, a special day for this one, Sunday on Fox, the network channel. Again, two men will be fighting for TJ Dillashaw's bantamweight title. Odds, Dillashaw coming in at -145, while Dominic Cruz, a very small underdog, at +115. The former champion Dominic Cruz will be participating in his first fight in nearly 16 months, and just his third fight in the last 4 years. So pretty big fight for Dominic Cruz, looking to reclaim that title. We move on to the very next topic. David Haye, former heavyweight champion of the world, returning to the world of boxing. He'll be taking on Mark DeMori. For those of you guys that don't know who Mark DeMori is, he's really no joke. 31-2 record with 26 knockouts. He's ranked number 7 by the WBC. It's extremely strange that David Haye, a lot of sports books there in England apparently putting their money on him, is a huge 25-1 favorite. So good to see David Haye back in the ring after nearly 2 years outside of it. We move on to boxing here stateside. Robert Guerrero and Danny Garcia, their January 23rd bout, just recently been announced, will be for the vacant WBC welterweight title. Guerrero will be the biggest guy Danny Garcia has ever faced. The fight will also air on the Fox network. Garcia, a 9-1 favorite in that one. More news nationally coming from the UFC. Rafael dos Anjos and Conor McGregor, they're going to get it on. The fight was made official this week. The event will take place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, again, March 5th on the UFC 197 card. McGregor will be moving up to fight Dos Anjos to challenge him for the belt, looking to be the first guy to do that while he actually claims another title since BJ Penn. Dos Anjos opens up as a slight favorite. More sports books have the fight even at -115. So pretty big fight happening March 5th. Joining them on that card here, of course, locally, is going to be Holly Holm and Miesha Tate. We heard a couple of weeks ago Dana White say that Holly Holm will not wait for the rematch against Ronda Rousey before she's back in action. Again, this will be the co-main event for UFC 197. Tickets go on sale to the public January 22nd. But if you're a UFC VIP person, a couple days before that, so just a little heads up for you. Holm checking it in as a -350 favorite on more sports books. So that'll do it for the national news. Let's jump right into the local headlines. Fit NHBs and, of course, Albuquerque's Amber Brown, the number 5 atomweight in the world, will be fighting this weekend. Again, we've had a change in opponent. She was supposed to be facing Lisa Ellis. Shino Van Hoos now takes Ellis's spot. Again, Saturday night, Invicta FC 15 card. That'll be streamed online, so make sure you guys keep an eye out for that one. Amber Brown hoping that this fight lines her up for that Invicta atomweight title. More news here locally. Coming back here to central New Mexico, Fidel Maldonado Jr., the second best boxer, I should say, out of the state of New Mexico. His new opponent for the January 30th Buffalo Thunder card has been named. He'll be facing 59-fight veteran Michael Clark. The 42-year-old Clark hails out of Columbus, Ohio, and has lost 6 of his last 7 bouts, but they've all been to top prospects, so he's a rugged, old-school veteran guy. This should give Fidel Maldonado a test for at least a couple of rounds. We move on to the very next topic. Andrew Tennyson, our guest last week here on Combat Sports Weekly. He'll be kicking off the Access TV card against Corey Sandhagen Friday night, again live on Access TV. Both guys will be facing off on that RFA 34 card that'll take place at the First Bank Center in Broomfield, Colorado. More news. Today's guest, Jordan Espinoza, will be taking on Nick Urso February 13th at Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino. So you can see the full fight card is there. It's in small font, but don't worry. We have it posted on our Facebook page, so make sure to see all the amateur and professional bouts that are taking place February 13th at Buffalo Thunder Resort. Doing something special here for our highlight segment, Guerrilla Productions, a.k.a. JP Boxing's Top 100 Knockouts was released last week. We'll show you their top 50 coming up. Bunch of quick highlights coming at you here on the top 15 boxing knockouts. Guerrero Productions, for those of you that don't follow GP Boxing on any social media, you guys best do that because they put together some of the best hype videos and highlight segments. Here you have Peter Quillen and Andy Lee. A lot of great knockouts that took place. And it's just not here in the United States, across the world. Julian Jackson showcasing some of the power there. ARON Martinez, Robert Guerrero is another one that was a pretty good fight. Sergey Kovalev. This was a great fight. That's one of the top 5 fights of the year between David Lemieux and Nassam Nadan. Ivan Ahead as a beast there too. Here's a top fight that we had this week. We had a lot of hype for this one. It only sold 200,000. But Gennady Golovkin and David Lemieux, and of course, who can forget this one? Canelo Alvarez and James Kirtland. Let you guys enjoy some of the handiwork coming on here. McDonald Kameda was another top fight of the year. Golovkin Murray. Murray, we expected a lot more from him, but the body shots did him in that fight. Of course, we can forget the smaller fighters here, Mura and Vargas. That's our fight of the year. Just an incredible back and forth tussle between the two guys. Lee Quillen, of course, a draw that took place earlier this year. Luis Ortiz making a name for himself in the heavyweight division. There's an NDAM and David Lemieux again. Here we go, top 20 knockouts. Fidel Maldonado Jr. receiving end of that, but then he delivers it right back to Amir Imam in their back and forth tussle. Who can forget that one from earlier last year? Chavez Jr. upset in that one. I think it was something like a 9-1 favorite and came up short because he came out of shape. Arthur Abraham making a name for himself again, and this one was a pretty entertaining bout for as long as it lasted. Look at that check hook from Sergio Mora. Not much of a power puncher, but he did have a lot of strength that night for however long that fight lasted. Donaire staking his claim as one of the best fighters in the world again. Who can forget this? Edwin Rodriguez coming back from 2 knockdowns in that fight. DeGale, Durrell, pretty tough fight there for Durrell. And here we go, ending up in the top 3. Billy Joe Saunders, Andy Lee, one of the better fights of the year as well. Povetkin, Mike Perez. Whoop. Povetkin dropping bombs in Russia. Again, special thanks to Guerrero Productions, aka GP, Boxing, for those knockdowns. Make sure you guys check out their top 100 on their Facebook page. But that'll do it for the headlines and highlight segment. Coming up after the break, Jordan Espinoza.